your new book, Paycheck to Purpose, you walk people through this 7-step clear path.
Yeah.
And the first step is get clear.
So we just really have broken down the way a person gets clear or the way a leader gets clear. Same situation. So we got leaders right now that are pretty frustrated that are listening to this. And they know they love to lead. They want to lead, but I'm really frustrated. Step back and get clear for a second. What's your leadership sweet spot? What are you as a leader really good at? That's talent. What type of work in your day as a leader do you love to do? Fun little exercise here. Don't just look at what you love. Once you write down the stuff that you love to do as a leader, also look at the stuff that sucks the life out of you and just do a quick little analysis. How much of my day, how much of my week am I dealing with stuff that's soul-sucking as opposed to
that could be hard to look at.
lifting? Oh, it may be hard, but you better do it.
Yeah.
And then the last piece again, what are the results as a leader that you most want to create? See, some leaders say they want to drive achievement, right? Numbers. Some leaders, they just all about service. So it's okay. It's okay if achievement's your jam. Your missional, that's your result that drives you. That's the result that really fires you up. It's okay if it's achievement. It's okay if it's service. It's okay if it's order and efficiency. You know, some leaders, I'm not about the service piece as much. I'm about order and efficiency. Those are your COOs, right? And so, that's really important. So the get clear is that first stage. Just say, hey, what am I supposed to do? What's my purpose in work? It's so freeing. So freeing. Got to do it.
Do you think there's a lot of leaders out there who are kind of out of balance with that leadership sweet spot where they're feeling that frustration?
There's no question. I mean, it runs the gamut. You could have leaders that are 90-10, that are 90% doing stuff outside their sweet spot. Now, let's just park here for a second because I can hear the listener. I did this for many years, so I know what people are thinking. They're going, Ken, it's 3 people. It's me, my wife, and Uncle Larry. All right, we're trying to replace Uncle Larry, but right now Uncle Larry's the only guy that knows how to do it. And I got to do 50 things that suck the soul out of me because it's just 3 of us. I get that.
Can't delegate it right now.
That's a season. So we're talking about optimal. And so nothing's optimal when we're starting out and when we're young and we're new. We're going to grow into that. So right now you're the chief everything officer. So don't feel bad, but understand this is a season. But I'm talking about eventually where you want to get to, whether you got 3 people, 30 people, or 3,000 people, you want to get to the point where you're spending about 80% of your day doing stuff that you're really good at as a leader, doing work you love to do as a leader, and creating results that you want to create as a leader. That's the goal. That's the ideal. And you can get there. So I do want to point that out. Don't get all discouraged and don't go, oh, that don't make sense, Ken. I get it, Uncle Larry. You'll get it if you lean in a little bit longer.
Yeah, and getting that clarity and making that list and going, here's what I love to do, here's what I hate to do. How do we start to move into that other category?
Yeah.
And as we grow, we go, hey, we've got some money to hire someone now.
Yep.
Oh, I can offload a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, quick thing on that. That's a really good question. So as you begin to grow and as you begin to say, okay, I need to get in my leadership sweet spot because we are growing, we've got the resources. So what we want to do is we want to go, okay, the stuff that really sucks the soul out of me, okay, either I'm not good at it, that's the talent bucket. I don't love to do it, that's the passion bucket. I could care less about the results, that's the mission bucket. So we begin to see those things that are soul-sucking, all right? So we now look at it, we go, cool, we can delegate it. We can hire for it, somebody new. So delegate it to somebody already there, hire for it, somebody new, or eliminate it. Get rid of it.
That's an interesting option.
Yeah, it might not be an option, but many times you might be surprised. Well, wait a second. Why am I doing this? I don't think that's going to be a high percentage, but I wanted to throw it out as an option because I'm a man of the people and I serve everybody. So one more time, I got to tell you, this is really good. Delegate it, hire for it, eliminate it.
Simple.
Yeah.
That brings me a lot of clarity right there. So we're talking about the leadership sweet spot, and I want to move into the team side. Let's flip this thing now and go, how can leaders help their team be in their sweet spot? Because that can be the biggest pain point out there and the biggest frustration, and the team's not going to get the results if they're not in their sweet spot. So how can the leaders start to develop their people in that way?
Well, so we got to go back to the construct. So if you've done your homework on the front end leader and you go, okay, in this administrative assistant position, these are the non-negotiable talents. They got to be really good at this. And this is the work they've got to love. And these are the results they got to really get the juice about creating. Then we're starting to match it up and we're going, oh, that's why Fred is not really rocking it. Fred's actually got the talent. But when I actually get to know Fred and I ask him, what work do you really love, Fred? If I, as a leader, have the guts and the intentionality to sit down with Fred and go, Fred, here's what I want you to do. I want you to carry around a notepad and a pencil this week. And Friday afternoon, I want you to turn it in on my desk. And I want you to have one sheet of paper, line down the middle, lifts me, right? Or I love it or I loathe it. I don't care, okay? And I want you to go through your day, and every time you're doing something, you go, oh, well, I love this, write it on the love it side. If you hate it, write it on the loathe it side, okay? Or whatever. I don't care what your adjectives are, but it's either it gives you the juice or it sucks the life out of you. Make a list all week long. And let's just see what Fred comes back with and say, Fred, you're not going to get in trouble. There are no wrong answers here. But I want to hear from you of what you're doing now. What do you love? What do you like? What are you just like, and what do you hate? I don't care. However you want to do it, leaders, do that. It would really be soul freeing for the employee to kind of go, hey, my leader's actually not taking, not taking this against me. It's a wide open thing. It's free. I'm not going to get in trouble. But if you can get somebody to honestly do that and let them know you're not in trouble at all, I just want to get a sense we're doing this with everybody. Do it with your whole team. You might be surprised what you find out. So now you're kind of looking at, this is the passion exercise. So they're letting you know what they love. Yeah. So now you match it up with the talent. I hope you didn't hire somebody that doesn't have the talent. I'm assuming you've hired somebody that has the talent to do the job.
Real passionate.
But if somebody you hired has the talent, but they don't seem motivated, let me just break this down. The root word of motivated is motive. It's your why. So it's either passion, I either love it or I don't, the work, or mission, I care deeply about that result, that I'm creating results. I either care deeply or I could care less.
Yeah, man, that's fascinating. And I've seen this play out, here at Ramsey where people have moved around, but it can be hard if you're in the team member seat for me to go to my leader and
It is hard.
And go, hey, I like what I do. I don't love it. I think there's something over there.
Yep.
How can the team member have a tactful conversation with the leader without spooking the leader and they go, oh, this guy, we got to get rid of this guy?
Yeah, there's no magical formula here other than you need to be humble and kind of come at this like, I've just discovered, the formula to cold fusion, and now I'm letting you in on it. I mean, this is super simple stuff. So you're going to have to go to your leader and you're going to have to say, hey, I just kind of been doing some self-awareness stuff. Hey, I love this organization. I want to be here. I happen to be really good at this thing, but I now realize that I love more of this work. So I've been here in sales, but I actually love the customer service side. You've got to give the flip. So if you do this work, you can be tactful because you're going to give the leader a full picture. You're not going to go in and go, oh, I don't like what I do. You know what I mean?
Please don't do that.
Yeah, and just kind of shove it across the table.
Yeah.
No, you're going to go, hey, I've done some self-reflection. I'm being aware. I think this is true of me. Do you agree? Let them have some input into it. A healthy leader is going to go, wow, this is really interesting. A healthy leader is going to go, this is good. Thank you for doing this. Well, I'll tell you, here's the deal. We need you in this position right now. But yeah, an unhealthy leader, though, is going to go, oh, yeah, I don't know what any of that means. This doesn't matter. Go back to your desk. Or, who knows? They're going to dismiss you.
Yeah.
So that's how you would handle it internally to a leader, is you're showing this is all about, I want to add value to the organization. This isn't about a raise. This isn't about me, just for me. This is, hey, I want to continue to add value, and I'm learning about myself, and I'm seeing something over here. And when you can give them this formula, they may have never heard of Ken Coleman at all. They don't need to. It makes sense. Hey, I'm at my most valuable if I use what I do best to do work I love to produce results here that matter deeply to me. They're going to go, well, that makes good sense. If they don't, they're an imbecile. Now back to the leader. When you do this, as I was talking about earlier, and you know this about each person, then you've got to determine, can I develop that? Talent, if they've got the raw talent, you can develop the skill. So if they're missing some skills and they got the raw talent, great news, leader. You can develop them. Training course, some mentoring, maybe a college course, whatever. You can develop that. If they don't love the work, you cannot develop passion.
That's good.
I know. That's why I came back to it.
That'll preach.
So you can't develop passion. They either love it or they don't.